Hey everyone, Robert here, author of Expansion Mastery, the practical guide to living a fully engaged life. Are you ready to start embracing your life? Are you ready and willing to transform yourself and your life from ordinary to extraordinary? Are you prepared to participate and celebrate in this year of unity and human harmony? Welcome, my friends, to the Fully Engaged Life. Welcome back to the show, everyone. I hope that you're enjoying the benefits of the previous set of 4 practices that I provided. Very powerful yet simple and easy to work with practices that help you to focus your intention, teach you how to concentrate the mind a little more, and those 4 exercises, when they come together, set a set of skills in place for you that will then facilitate further practices, such as the next set of 4 that I'm going to begin in this episode. So if you do the first set of 4, and then you move into these, this is another example of the sequential nature of these practices. So again, just like with the previous set of 4, I'm going to have 4 practices here that should also be engaged in their proper sequential nature. So I'm going to provide them for you in the sequence in which they were meant to be practiced. And if you are truly seeking results, you really want the benefits and success that these practices have to offer, then you'll follow the natural sequence that I am unfolding for you here in each one of these episodes. Today's episode will begin the practice of the 4 foundations of transcendent intention. Now that's a mouthful, right? Well, this is an extremely powerful set of 4 practices. And what it is we're going to work with the powerful intention for transcendence in order to live our adventure. So what is that exactly? Well, it's the ability to start to consciously create your reality. So the previous set of meditative practices that I provided with you, the 4 skillful efforts, they were addressing a universal law. That universal law was that of the law of cause and effect. So you are learning how to consciously and actively take part in this universal law of cause and effect, and how to become one with it, how to work with it with a sense of harmony and be able to connect with it and use it to shape yourself and your life. The set we will begin today, the 4 foundations of transcendent intention, are also dealing with a universal law. This one is the universal law of attraction, and you're going to find out why so many people fail at being able to activate the law of attraction successfully in their lives, and you'll learn the secrets of how to actually do it. Learning how to harmoniously collaborate with the universal laws is at the very core of real spirituality. And just for those of you who may not be clear as far as what this 4 foundations of transcendent intention is referring to. Well, in the previous exercises, we worked on effort. So we start to train our intention. Here we're going to focus that much further. The 4 foundations are the 4 exercises, the 4 practices, the 4 pillars, if you will, of the law of attraction. We have to develop, cultivate, and balance all 4 of these to be in a prime position to then act in harmony with the law of attraction. So the transcendent intention part is this. Well, we know transcendence is referring to usually an experience beyond the normal physical realm, right? So that's what we're dealing with here. And that lets us know it's a universal law. That lets us know it's something beyond the physical level. Now, what that also means is that goes beyond the level of the intellect. This is not dealing with the intellectual brain here. The ability to understand that will be imperative to your success in activating your ability to truly focus your intentions and vibration in a particular way that will then activate this ability to play a much larger and conscious role in your own life. So, these 4 levels of intention can be considered as a form of vibrational self-defense for the spiritual warrior. In spirituality, there are basically 2 phases. In the first, we seek, embrace, and engage the positive spiritual practices themselves. This is often symbolized in spiritual systems as well as martial systems and things by a sword. The second is to develop the skills to defend yourself from negative influences of both self-inflicted and external sources. This is usually symbolized by a shield. This is one way to understand the root of the idea for good versus evil, right? We've all heard that. We've seen it. It's the basis of every type of adventure story out there, the movies, the books, all of that stuff, right? So to understand this idea of good versus evil, we have to first grasp the fact that at its root, in its sense of truth, it really has nothing to do with religion at all. It's not about this religion over that religion and you know the fight of good versus evil, the ultimate good and the ultimate evil in a religion. None of that stuff is real. Those are just entertaining stories. But it has everything to do with true spirituality. You see, good versus evil, when seen through the eyes of organized religion, often invokes the ego, which then usually ends up in the belief, self-created belief, that your way is the only right way, that is the only way to understand truth. And we know when you limit yourself that way, it's never a good thing. Your mind shuts down. You are closed-minded. So, and we can see that the ego swells with that sort of thing because so many of these religions end up relying on violence. And this is incredibly misguided. So, what good versus evil actually refers to is seeking out and actively engaging positive practices to raise your vibration and awaken, and to have the courage, fortitude, and inner strength to engage these practices while at the same time developing the skills to defend yourself from negative energies of your own mind as well as from the mind of others that would cause your vibration to lower, your heart to close, and prevent you from awakening. Realizing this is to know the heart of the spiritual warrior. This is the hidden balance within spirituality. Many people make the error of denying any sort of warrior aspect in their spiritual study. But this is just going to an unbalanced extreme, which is a manifestation of the ego-dominated mind. The term warrior here is not implying that you have to fight or harm another or resist. That's a very limited view of what the term warrior actually means. And in spirituality, the idea of a warrior or the term warrior is referring to something different than what we classify it as somebody fighting, right? It's not about that. So what it's actually implying is that you have a sort of supernatural inner strength that allows you to face the challenges of spiritual practices and hold them in day-to-day life. This is the struggle of the spiritual seeker on the path to awakening. We have to have the inner strength to engage these practices. We have to have the inner strength to be honest, brutally, 100% open and honest with ourselves. We have to be strong enough inside to face our own flaws, to admit them, and to then engage practices that will help us change them. These things are very trying. They're very challenging. And it takes a certain amount of inner strength and fortitude to be able to forge ahead and attain levels of awakening in your spiritual systems through these spiritual practices. The weak will not continue. This is just the nature of humanity. This is how it works. This is why there are so few people that engage in true spirituality. They like the fluffy new agey stuff or the drug-induced stuff because they don't have to do anything. And they can hide in that and create these false feelings. But if you ever deal with these people and you start to talk to them about it, they're incredibly insecure. Well, they have good reason to be, because they haven't built a foundation. So if you remember, these practices that I've been giving you in mindfulness, these practices that I've started to release this year, these are all ways to create a solid spiritual foundation. All right, so the intentions of these practices serve to create the foundation of your ability to channel and focus your positive intentions into your practices and your daily life. See, we need to remain ever mindful that spirituality is about engaging positive practices while protecting ourselves from negative influences. This is the balance within spirituality. So these intentions, these 4 intentions that we're going to be working with, will serve to assist you in overcoming negativity, distractions, and various forms of inner conflict, as well as the normal mental weaknesses that human beings suffer from when of ordinary mind or ego-dominated mind. The skill of highly focused intention is something vastly beyond your intellectual thought. So this leads us to a deeper form of meditative practice and is therefore considered to be a bit more advanced. Each of these 4 practices has tremendous power in its own right, but together they form an unshakable resolve within you, and they unleash your power to engage in co-creating in the reality of your life. Together, these 4 practices, these 4 intentions, create a skill that is known as the direct experience wisdom. These meditative practices require more practice to develop than others, but the results they provide are absolutely incredible. So, as they become a little more advanced, they require more patience. We have to be more patient, and we have to learn to enjoy just engaging the exercise itself instead of always seeking an outcome, to be goal-oriented. When you can let go of the outcome and simply enjoy the process of the practice itself, it helps you to attain the results much quicker and much more honestly. As I stated earlier, these 4 intentions are going to help you develop the skill that you can apply to co-creating your reality. Now, many attempt to apply the law of attraction, and they constantly fail. The primary reason, in my opinion, besides their inability to control their vibration and raise it, is that they rely more on wishing and forming beliefs instead of developing the true ability to focus their intentions correctly. Believing is not enough. It is not enough to believe. That isn't going to set this into motion. We have to come to understand the wisdom and truth of these practices and our own abilities as a human being through our own direct experience with these practices. These 4 intentions are not only about the ability to create reality, but creating the reality you desire and deserve. These 4 intention practices are a fine example of the power inherent within focused positive desire. These practices are designed to guide you to a state of higher consciousness, which clearly indicates that the mind and the body are vital tools in spiritual practices. Now, I caution you not to take these practices lightly, and I must warn you against using them to focus on negative or selfish things towards anyone or anything, as doing so will result in a disaster of your own creation. These skills are not to be used in an attempt to control others or seek revenge or twist reality of others. This will cause far more than mere failure. It will come back on you in ways you cannot imagine. So please, make sure that your focus is about creating positive change in yourself and your life. This is key to making it work correctly. I've found through my own direct personal experience with these practices over the past 3 to 4 decades that when your intention includes a win-win-win scenario, in other words, the positive effects ripple out into the world to benefit others as well as yourself, the intentions become more powerful and the influence you have over your reality is far greater. This set of 4 practices, once mastered, can be used to manifest many wonderful things in your life. I'll use the focused intention of robust health for the example of these practices as I share them with you in these episodes. They were designed to assist us in achieving the inner resolve necessary to attain awakening as well as co-creating our life. So any one of these has the power to enable and cultivate your sense of awakening. It's said that these 4 intention practices result in certain abilities, usually things that are considered to be psychic in nature. But I'm not going to go into that. I'll let you decide for yourself what happens once you successfully engage them. So for the purpose of these practices, I'm going to use the focused intention of robust health. So I'm going to be stressing that. What that means is you can replace robust health with anything that you want to focus on for yourself or your life reality. I am calling upon robust health here because so many people in the world are unhealthy today, especially in the West, and it's getting worse by the day. And our happiness, our success in living a fully engaged life, embracing our adventure, relies upon good health. So I'm going right to the root of it. And this is something that you can use. You can use the idea of robust health here, or you can change it and focus on whatever your own focus may be. I've found over the years that most people try to jump right in and focus on money for everything. It's not necessarily bad, but if you don't have good health, you're not going to enjoy that money and all that it can bring to you anyway. So maybe you could use the money to pay for treatments or something to improve your health. But the idea is you don't need that. All you have to do is set your resolve, focus your intentions, and you can start to improve upon your current state of health. So be careful what you choose to work on. Make sure it's not selfish. Make sure that it's for the benefit of yourself and everyone around you, and keep your vibration high. Just focusing your intent, trying to force something by will alone, does not work. You need to combine it with a high vibration. It's the combination, the balance of your focused intent and the ability to hold a high vibration that makes it work. Because if your focus is upon something negative towards someone else or something such as some form of resistance, then what's going to happen is your vibration is going to lower, and then you will attract more of that into your life without even knowing it. See, so this can backfire on you in that way. So that's my final word of caution as we get started. All right, practice number 1, this is focused desire. we are going to use visualization and physical sensation, because the important thing here is that we learn to see that which we desire. We need to see it. We need to see it in our mind's eye, and we need to be able to see it in specific reminders all around us in physical reality. Each of these practices will be split up into a mental part, an internal part using the mind, and then an external part, or something as a physical reminder in your environment to help serve as a constant reminder of what your focus is supposed to be set on. So this first part is going to be internal, using the mind. What you're going to do is you're going to observe that which is your focus. In other words, if I'm going to focus on robust health, I'm going to invoke the power of visualization. So if you don't have the ability to visualize, you need to practice it, and this will allow you to practice it. We're going to use the power of sight this way to see that which we desire in our mind. All right, you set? So find a quiet, comfortable space. Sit quietly and relax as you take a few deep breaths. I would highly recommend turning off your phone, putting it in another room, and eliminate any other forms of distraction as much as you possibly can. Sit comfortably and take a few deep cleansing breaths. I recommend using my Breath Bridge program for all 4 of these practices in order to effectively shift from the external to the internal. If you have another method that you prefer to use, that's fine too. Just sit back with your eyes closed. Focus on robust health, focusing your mind and intention on the contemplation of how powerful your focused attention can truly be. If focused strongly enough, you have the power to overcome normal states of the physical world and intellectual understanding in order to consciously and deliberately create your reality. Reach a state of knowing that this ability is real and that it goes beyond anything that can be understood in the intellectual mind. Sit in a meditative state, focusing your thoughts and feelings on what it would be like to have such robust health. You'll use both visualization and physical sensation to access the focused power of your intention here. Concentrate on what it would feel like if you had no pain, no physical limitation, no disease. If you were healthy and happy and could do all the things in life that you desire to experience. Feel what the body would be like if it was pain-free. What if your body just felt good and alive and energized? We also want to feel the excitement that wells up in our belly and throughout our entire body as we think about this possibility. Visualize it in your mind's eye. Visualize how your life would be if you did indeed have such robust health, that you were so strong and so healthy that you just enjoyed every moment of every day. What would your life look like? What things would you do and experience that you're currently restricted from enjoying? See in your mind's eye how free and fun your life could be if you possessed robust health. Imagine, visualize it. What if you could take comfort in a sense of longevity in order to enjoy those people in your life that you love so dearly? See yourself looking healthy and more alive than ever. Feel what it would feel like to be that healthy and happy. Get a crystal clear picture and physical sensation in your body of this, and remain in that contemplative space for as long as you wish. The important thing here is to see it and feel it. These two create a winning combination, a powerhouse effect of highly focused intention. When you're finished, reverse the breath bridge and reconnect to the external world. Sit and take a few deep breaths as you reconnect, and make sure you have your bearings before you slowly rise up, being very careful not to lose your balance or fall. Allow yourself to reacclimate to the physical world before standing. That is the first part of the exercise, and in my opinion, the most important. The second part is done in the external, physical world to serve as a reminder. So what you're going to do is begin altering some of your physical surroundings, especially in your home environment, to fit the intention you're focused on in order to support your success. In this case, we are searching for success in robust health. This is where things like vision boards could be very helpful. You can post photos and inspirational quotes and things, other things that remind you of being healthy and happy in order to serve as constant reminders of your desire. In addition, you can make changes to your living environment that supports robust health. It's a little hard to focus your intention towards robust health if you have junk food lying around and you're always sitting down looking at a little screen. In other words, it requires a bit of conscious, awakened effort on our part to support that which we desire. So we can start to get rid of some things. So you throw out a bag of chips or a box of cookies, throw it in the trash. That physical action is helping you in the physical world to set your resolve even more powerfully. And at the same time, you can replace that with something healthy, some fresh fruit or some vegetables, some avocados that are setting out to ripen, something like that that you can have. And then every time that you see those, it will serve as a reminder of your focused intention. Remember, just sitting on your butt wishing or trying to believe will not bring you success with working with the law of attraction, let alone these practices. It will only result in deepening a sense of ego-driven delusion. You can also draw upon examples of others who possess what you desire, in this case, robust health, of course. So you can begin reading their books, have a book, some sort of exercise or healthy diet or something you can set on your coffee table, or you can put where it's always there. What you want is a visual reminder. Wouldn't hurt to read the book either, right? You got it. Come on. Read it. This is another way of taking action. So we can use them, but what we want is to begin to create our immediate living environment so that it looks the way it would look if we already had robust health, if we already had the ability to be healthy and happy and engage in all the things that we want to do. So you want to look at what is it all the people have in common who possess this sense of robust health, and then start to bring those things in your life. You can set the books around, you can begin reading the books, you can get the home study DVDs and begin doing the exercises, whatever it is. We have to remember that because we are operating from this physical and mental reality, we need to engage that reality in our practices. Just doing it in our mind is not enough. What you want to do is begin to emulate that which you desire. So ask yourself, what behaviors can I adopt in order to support the desire that I'm holding? The power of intention is extremely powerful, but it isn't magic, not fantasy magic. In other words, you can't just sit and visualize and focus your mind only to turn around and act in an opposite way in physical reality, right? So I can't just sit there and think about and wish and believe that I want robust health and then turn around and eat a bunch of crap foods, right? Doesn't work that way. That's what's called self-sabotage. And believe me, I witness that often. I've even found myself doing that as well. So we want to watch for that sort of thing. We want to bring together the heaven, earth, being power of focused intention, high vibration, and physical environment in order to create the best possible scenario for success. Following this practice will allow you to begin to live that which you desire. Now, you can engage the mental practice, the meditative practice of contemplation and focused intention anytime you want, as much as you desire. So you can do it twice a day. If you're going to really get results, I highly recommend doing it a minimum of twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. If you want to do it on your lunch hour at work or something too, go for it. The more, the better. We want to be able to invest a little bit of effort, right, which we should be able to do now because we had the 4 efforts that we developed. So now making a little bit of effort should be effortless to us. So it doesn't have to be a long time. The key here is that you want to see it clearly in your mind and feel the excitement and the health of it in your body. And then with that, you can hold on to that feeling, and that's getting your vibration in line with this. And I even highly recommend holding a smile on your face. If you understand what an inner smile is, I would engage that practice as well here and hold the inner smile. I want to be able to keep my vibration high. So it's good as you go through something like robust health and envision yourself being able to run and play with your children, or being able to engage in activities such as hiking mountains and stuff with the person you love. All of those sorts of things that invoke love and appreciation and compassion and joy. If all of that is part of your focused intention, then it will have a high vibrational frequency that will help you align with that and bring it into reality. All right, so that is the first practice of this focused intention, where you will begin building the 4 foundations of transcendent intention. We want to understand that these exercises are meant to transcend the life we have now, the ordinary mind. We want to transcend into a state of awakening. Please make sure to visit me on all forms of social media and at www.expansionmastery.com. The Breath Bridge is available for sale there, and I put it on at a lower price so you can get a great deal on a wonderful program, 2-disc set. It'll help you with these practices substantially. You can also order your autographed book, Expansion Mastery, or the Appreciation Mastery program. Please hit the subscribe, follow, like buttons, all that stuff on Twitter, Facebook, and our YouTube channel. And make sure that you share all of these podcasts with your friends and family so they too may benefit from these authentic practices. Until next time, my friends, I wish you the very best in all of your practices as well as your life. Take care.